The following is a fan-based narrative. Please support the official release.
Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Yeah! And you melted my Candleman action figure! Now he just looks like Melty Man.
Okay, only one of them is Candleman, but they're both in candle basins because... Also, to melt plastic on an action figure like this, you need a steady heat while turning it to get all sides. I know they have heat vision, but they'd have to purposely do a low-level beam to get this effect. Sounds like Bubbles would just be a bit of a dick here. And spoiler alert, it turns out it was Bliss who did it. So Bliss, who can't control their powers, somehow only melted the action figure instead of completely destroying it?
It was my new friend, Bliss. She's a teenager. She has trouble controlling her emotions.
And come to think of it, this is the only time where we ever see her accidentally use heat vision. In fact, this would be the only time anyone uses heat vision in the entire movie.
Oh, sorry, Buttercup. This seat's saved for Snugglebucky, but you can sit with Jerry.
The bus is pretty much like empty. Take your pick of any other seat. You don't have to sit next to him. Or you could even just fly to school. That's always an option too. You are a superhero. You have superpowers.
Oh, come on, Jerry.
I don't know whether to commend this kid for having the balls to do this knowing the social suicide that he's committing, or to send him because he's probably gonna wipe that on the seat and f the people who do that. Buses are already gross enough.
Ooh, I know! It's a sailboat! Wait, Blossom!
Okay, but what's the board for? Also, these are playoffs? Wouldn't that mean there was more than 2 teams before? Exactly how many OCs did they put into this movie?
Good try, Berwick, but it's not a bottle of salad dressing. It's a sailboat.
Woohoo!
And how come only the Professor and Buttercup get uniforms? I guess we know who his favorites are.
Bubbles, why do we all have to sleep on this side of the bed? Lemon Square needs his personal space.
How old is Lemon that he's sleeping in the bed of a bunch of middle schoolers?
Bubbles, listen. It's not that we don't believe you. It's that we think you're lying.
Oh, how the middle-aged men who watch this show wish that was true.
We don't have time to keep arguing, especially if we're gonna make it to the new Space Tow Truck movie. Judge Trey, he's approached the bench and blown it up.
Just barely far enough from blatant copyright infringement.
Not so fast, girls.
Was the professor just standing outside their door, listening in, waiting for his chance to say this, or does he just routinely stalk outside their room? And I'd like to take this moment here to mention that we've had 2 lolly jokes already. It's official, Powerpuff Girls is now an anime. Again.
Earth Plow? Yeesh. Space Tow Truck is so much better. That Earth Plow guy is always overacting.
Meh. Earthplow was better before they rebooted it as a self-aware ironic show. I even heard they added like some sort of black card to it. Absolutely disgusting.
Me too. Those leaves thought they were the top of the pile, but they made a big misrake.
First, I'm going to have to ask you not to make bad puns like this. Second, who's making rakes the size of Buttercup? She's like 2 feet tall, if that.
Bubbles! I didn't do it! Then who did, Bubbles?
I never lose.
Bubbles! I didn't do it! Then who did, Bubbles? Disappearing ninja plate smashers? Cause we locked them up last week.
Though if that was true, given the escape record of villains, it'd be reasonable to assume they already got out again.
No, it was Bliss.
So Bliss came, smashed, and left in a matter of a few seconds, leaving you, her friend, to take the blame. Yeah, it's starting to sound like she's also a dick.
And where exactly is this Bliss? She left.
God damn it, I'm trying to like this, but you don't need to interject so many mean faces in this show. It's not needed. You guys can stand on your own writing.
With her elephant?
Me.
You?
No, the elephant. Wait, who? Me.
What about you?
Nope, this joke isn't old or anything, and I'm sure it's just as fresh as it was and isn't completely overused by lazy writers.
She's nuts!
Buttercup, that's a terrible thing to say. She's our sister. The term is legally insane.
I mean, you guys are fingerless flying dwarfs who fight crime and were born in a basement. The realm of disbelief is pretty wide here.
Let's wait! Don't disappear again!
So conveniently, now no sound effects, but I'm sure later on they won't be shy from adding all kinds of wacky sound effects to every motion that Bliss does.
Hello, sisters.
Can a character break their neck if they don't have one? These close-up scenes are kinda creeping me out. Their eyes go all the way around their head. It's even more weird than the fact that Sonic actually only has one eyeball with two irises.
I've got the perfect plan. See? Perfect plan.
Does she have like super string? How couldn't she break these? Alright, I'm starting to get the feeling that the sizes of these characters change at random. Her torso now is smaller than the drink she has.
Who? Me?
No, you're right here.
No, we are not doing this again.
Shouldn't have done it to begin with.
It can do it all.
But can it write?
Well, let's see.
Shouldn't you know if your pen is able to write? Didn't you add ink to it? And if you didn't, well, there's your answer. Professor commits assault on a minor with a deadly weapon, but no one bats an eye.
Odd. Seems it's stuck on the immobilization setting. Oh well, I'll go get us some more popcorn.
Professor hits multiple people and no one leaves or calls the police.
Fast space tow truck.
Okay, but why?
You too, me? The greatest actor who has ever bestrode this planet?
No, yeah, that's an appropriate response to criticism. Also, come to think of it, with how many less than desirable events we've had taking place in movie theaters, I'm honestly surprised they have scenes like this in this special. I mean, this is the show that removed an episode because it had a message mentioning 9/11.
Wait for me!
Now they run, but not before when the professor did it. That's racist.
Okay then, one medium, please.
For a quarter more, you can get a large.
No movie theater has that good of a deal, and if they do, it's probably on a base price of like $20.
Bliss! Ooh!
And that's how Bubbles got AIDS.
Yeah, I just found us some more popcorn.
Save it! Let's go pop this guy's kernel first!
Oddly sexual phrasing.
Hey, you overacting meanie! Leave my sisters alone!
This whole thing with Bubbles being tied up really relies on us forgetting the fact that she has super strength, heat vision, and all kinds of other powers.
Bubbles! Bliss!
You have heat vision, super breath, ice breath. All of these require no use of your body other than your eyes and or mouth. There's no way you could have helped.
Bliss, please!
Oh no, but it was all silent all the other times, right?
Nobody messes with my sisters.
Guess the professor used brown sugar on this one.
Previous joke was not found funny. The writers will pay for their crimes.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm not saying anything, but the professor sure has no problem putting underage kids to sleep. Like, he seriously has no qualms about this at all.
I wish Bliss had told me that when she was imaginary. She was always saying, "Don't tell the professor I'm here. I'm his daughter. That makes me her sister."
Was Bubbles always this dumb?
It all started 10 years ago. I was locked in a bitter rivalry with Professor Neutronium.
Seriously? Seriously? This really is a fanfic, isn't it?
But I accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Chemical W.
Wait a minute. You spilled Chemical X when you made us. You made the same mistake twice?
Pointing it out, writers does not make it any more okay.
You made the same mistake twice?
22 times, actually. I also had some difficulty with chemicals A through V.
Wait, so how many other kids have you made on accident? Because it sounds like you owe a lot of child support.
You should really clean that up.
Yeah.
And you've never cleaned any of this up after years. And it's never became a problem until now. And no one's ever noticed it until now.
The better.
Talk about emotionally unstable.
Strong.
And thousands died that day in those towers.
And incredibly smart. She was my...
That's not even the full formula. Any kid can tell you that.
Caused her to lose control of her powers.
You didn't learn your lesson from before?
Bliss! No!
The professor survives this.
A long time ago, the professor made me. I was the perfect little girl. Sweet, strong, and incredibly smart.
You know, when you're the one that's saying it kind of sounds like you're bragging.
A deserted island, covered in beautiful obsidian and lush vegetation. Not that you'd ever notice.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure they recorded Bliss's lines off location. The mixes on her vocals are completely different and honestly driving me crazy right now.
No, you don't understand.
Why would you want to leave when we just met you?
That's when I met me. My pet elephant.
So, who made it? No one's questioning that?
We spent many years together on the island, and we had so much fun.
What did she eat on Bird Poop Island exactly?
No!
I could put a joke clip here from The Emperor's New Groove with the whole meme of the wrong lever crunk, but this movie doesn't deserve that.
It's the other lever?
Oh, so silly.
Yeah, I get that wrong all the time.
Why did you tell him though?
Bliss?
Oh, hi guys!
You're still here!
Yes, we talked it over, and she's decided to stay.
What? What?
Yeah, it's in the blood. But first things first, if you're gonna roll with us, we gotta get you some new superhero threads.
But she's wearing the same outfit as you.
It's so cute!
What? It's the same thing she was wearing before.
Always a classic.
So this whole scene was pointless? Well, okay then.
What? You fools!
How does this store stay open with just one rack of clothes?
I was bitten by a radioactive human!
Todd! Staring at the microwave is bad for you!
Shove off, Selma.
That's not how microwaves work. And he'd also be dead. Everyone survives this.
Turn it off!
If it's too loud, you're too old!
If you're saying this, then you're too old. I'd make a comment about ear damage, but they don't have ears. Really, it's kind of sitting on their eyes, actually. So, I guess eye damage.
She needs to be like the swan! The swan! Quack, quack! That doesn't even make sense!
Another meme face.
Bliss, don't listen to him!
No, stay angry! Is Nutty McNutterson gonna cry?
So is Bliss just like Phoenix from the X-Men?
Oh, guess we'd call that 0-2 on my part, huh?
Is everyone else just like dead or what?
Excuse me, who's going to pay for my swan boats?
That man later had to settle for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. These are heroes, guys.
Extra sloppy, coming up.
No, the sloppy one's mine. Chili makes bubbles gassy.
We don't need to hear this. And the fact they're fighting over sloppy meat rods was a joke no one needed to make. But I'm gonna point it out anyways. Most of their skin should be ripped off here if it was sticky enough to keep them from moving.
Back off, Tyrannosaurus Tex! This town isn't big enough for all of us!
Is everything in this show just a pun?
And that's how the West was won.
Simulation complete.
That's so awesome!
They have a danger dome too? So this really is just the X-Men, huh? Wait, hang on. How come Bliss didn't use the danger dome before to hone her powers? Why'd she have to fly off?
And I say that you're
Not ready.
Professor, I aced every simulation.
Yes, but your powers are still untested.
Overprotective Guardian, not allowing their pupils to prove themselves in the field, causing them to feel unwanted and possibly turn evil. We've never seen that before.
the emergency signal! Come on, girls, let's go! Oh.
The phone's bigger than her. Where does she store it?
He said, I don't know why he won't let you fight.
So Meme can talk now. And no one's noticed. Why was she keeping it a secret?
That I can fight.
But I'm shy.
And he can shapeshift, because why not? And it's never came up before.
Hey, maybe Bliss could come to school with us on Monday.
I think it would be best if Bliss studied from home.
And the fact that she's like 15.
My rooster says.
So they're just going to ignore the fire going on there. Okay.
Girls, we have to stop him!
Chipmunk Commando? That guy is nuts!
Because puns are their only source of humor.
Oh, he upgraded. Huh?
I don't know about Australia, where I guess he's from, but here in the States, nutting in a child's face is a crime. I mean, he was trying to hurt others. If our police can use excessive force, why not our superheroes? I mean, they ran into it, so whose fault is it really?
Bliss, what have you done?
What?
Wait, how did the professor know they were here? He's never had any of their other battles, then why would he come to this one? No one also told him that they were going.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't want you to use your powers. He wants to control your powers.
Alright, the snake symbolism is a bit on the nose.
As it appears that Blissfino Utonium, the Powerpuff Girls' sister who had been missing for 10 years, is now possessed by arch-villain him, who had been posing as her tiny pet elephant named Me.
Is there a reason we needed this exposition?
Whoa, that's not good. What do we do now, Ribbonhead?
That's a bow, not a ribbon. You fell.
Girls, I know how to fix this. We can separate Bliss from him using this ray gun.
That's why you don't explain it and just do it. We'd literally be destroyed before this even got close.
Buttercup's right. It's time for...
I don't need to see that either. Magic, unexplained spike just separates them and saves the day. Okay then. Well, there goes all conflict.
Happened.
Me was him!
And him was you!
And you was him? And who was me?
Me was him!
Him was you?
And I'm confused.
Nope, still not stale the third time.
Minutes away from your doom!
Millions just died by the moon being cut in half. The gravitational pull of Saturn ripping the Earth apart is already causing irreversible damage as well.
Huh? Look! The Powerpuff Girls have formed into one giant Powerpuff Girl! Let the fight begin!
No, yep, they just turned into an anime. Literally. Again.
He's right, girls. Now that I'm back to full power, I'm the only one that can push Saturn back into place.
That's still going to cause so much damage. Irreversible damage. You're literally going to rip the continents apart.